Shemai GTA chums, the Chop Shop DLC has brought us a new business, but what does it offer us? Is it any good? And more importantly, will it make us decent money? This is a complete breakdown. This business is basically in two parts, an optional tow truck for sourcing cheap cars, and then there's the missions. And this is for bagging the unique cars which will bring in the big bucks. Well, big in respect to this business. Now, location is going to be essential when you're purchasing this business. Do not buy the cheaper northern business, as you will need to do your main sales in the city docks. So you should buy a business in town. The two nearest to the docks will be the better for deliveries. I bought the most central one, and the city sites are all around 2.5 million. Next, we buy the extras, which are a significant part of the cost. I didn't buy staff or trade rates and spent around 4.5 million in total. Now, the trade rates bonus will cost you 450 grand and discount your visits to LS Customs, and every time you have to pay Morris Mutual for a crashed vehicle, Sharkar, then you will get a discount then. With the tow truck, there are two options, and the more expensive one is a little faster, thanks to my friend Sharkar who tested that. So this might be the better option if you have the cash. Although the rusty one is 500,000 cheaper and it's only a little bit slower. The tow truck jobs are probably the most fun part of this DLC. It's just a case of going out there in your reasonably fast for a truck vehicle and hooking up the target vehicle and then speeding back to base, sometimes having to lose the police, which can be quite fun. Although it is fun, do not expect to have free mode style fun. By that I mean you cannot tow away a chum's car, as you can only tow away the target vehicle, because the mechanism, as you can see here, will not engage with anything else. Money wise, it seems to net you about 30 to 40,000 per vehicle, the recovery of which is probably about a 3 to 8 minute job. Now, if we go upstairs in our business, we have snacks, a bunk bed, and the usual gubbins. You can set this as your spawn point then. Now, going over to the wall safe, which is nicely intricately put into the wall there, it'll cost you 750 grand, but it gives us a passive income, which does not seem to be very much unless you are breaking down some vehicles, and even then it isn't immense. Now these vehicles are sourced through the tow truck or the main missions. There is a daily payout of 40 grand or so just for owning the business, but even then it is only a fraction of the payout of the nightclub, and it's better than the arcade, but perhaps similar to the agency. Now that's just the payout from the wall safe, the kind of passive income, as you will. Next, we have the staff upgrade. Now, this is 625 grand. I didn't buy this. It speeds up the turnaround of any cars that your crews are dismantling. So it's up to you if you purchase that or not. Depends on how active you're going to be with the business. Now, the main moneymaker is the premium car missions or mini heist, if that floats your boat. It's good that you don't have to pay extra for these missions. After all, they are integral to the story. However, you are made to experience at least 7 minutes of dialogue featuring the usual idiot in charge with more money than sense, and of course the foolish sidekick who somehow starts to talk sense, a little bit of sense, when the mission starts. The way it works is that we have to source a high-end car. Unlike the import-export garage, you have to jump through many elaborate and familiar hoops. I am of course talking about the setups. There's going to be a bit of copy and pasting. So if we boot up the computer, we can get the mission screen and can see that there are two types of setups. First, we have those which you complete in free mode. These are all on the right hand side under the header tasks. When you are registered as a CEO or biker gang in free mode, for example, these green bags will show up on the map. Just rock up to one and nab the goodies, then escape, lose the police, that kind of thing. It's quite straightforward. And then you have the more complex setups on the bottom row under the header planning work. So these are a little bit more elaborate, involved. The scoping out one here will unlock the new police vehicles in Warstock when you complete it, for example. So that is quite useful, and it is really easy as a scope out. And then there's a helicopter acquisition as well, which is all quite straightforward to complete solo. And there's not going to be any toing and froing, even if you're in solo, which is good. You don't need multiplayers to carry multi things. So let's look at the first mission, which has a maximum payout of nearly 400 grand. Yeah, and this is for about an hour's work. I don't understand the logic of the mission though. I mean, it's fun, but it's a bit weird. You have to bust some guy out of a police station, and this uses the same set as my favourite old school assassination mission, which is nice. Fun times. It's very stealth orientated though, but it is easy. So once you get your dude out,
Okay,
you
I
make
know
your
the
way
road
to
to
the
the back
airport, and
door.
then he
Let's go.
randomly gets in a helicopter and tells you where the car is. Why couldn't he just tell you that from his cell? You have to then kill a load of insta-kill gang members to get to the car, and then it's simply a case of going back to base and locking that thing up. As a reward for completing this mission, the Gangbanger Robbery, ooh misses, you will get the new battle gun for free. So that saves you 500,000 for a gun that you may not even want. Overall, it's fun, but I can see it being a bit repetitive for the time spent when you consider the small payout. But then Rockstar have thought of that, and we are limited to doing 3 of these premium car missions per week, which is ridiculous. But also a reminder to all those people who complained about Cayo Perico being boring that Rockstar do listen. So next time you think of complaining about a lucrative heist, perhaps you shouldn't. Another thing is that you don't get a bonus for selling in a public lobby. But the sell itself, as you can tell here, is very easy. It's just a matter of driving from your station, your depot, to the docks. And for me, it was like a minute job. But if you are, of course, in the north, in Sandy Shores, or even worse, further north, it's going to be an absolute nightmare because every ding you take on that car is going to cost damage, and it's going to cost you money, and it's going to affect the sale value. Nice. Okay, so in conclusion, a lot of this chop shop business has been copied and pasted. What is new is decent, but it's not exactly new, at least in concept, because it borrows from many other DLCs. The CEO Import Export Car Garage does it far better and for less money. Yes, you do have the NPCs trying to ram you and things, but that was really not a big deal if you know how to drive. Plus, it makes you more money as well for the time you spend doing it. And for me, I enjoy it more because you get to actually customize the cars. So, as a money making platform, the chop shop business is not great, which perhaps is representative of the new GTA 6 rather than the old GTA 5. But for me, having done everything else, this is a bit of a side bit of entertainment, and I can't help but feel that I should have been playing Elite Dangerous all along. And so, all I can recommend is that it may be worth it if you have the money to burn and have bought the other businesses, or if you just want to unlock the new police vehicles. That's why you might buy it. So, drop a like if this has been useful and comment with any questions. I doubt I'll ever see that money again, though. Oh well. Have a good one. Thank you very much for listening.